most important thing for kids is to not play with fire. First of all, don't play with matches, don't mess with turning the stove on, anything like that. The second thing is you want to make sure you have a fire escape plan from your house. So talk to your parents, make sure you have that in place where somehow in the middle of the night, if something unfortunately were to be happening, you know how to get out of your house and you know where to meet once you get out of your house, whether that's you'll meet in the front yard underneath the tree, whatever that is, to make sure you can get out. Everyone knows everyone's out of the house, or if someone can't get out, you know where to direct the fire department. And then on top of that, make sure you have smoke detectors. Make sure you have smoke detectors. Make sure you're changing the batteries at least twice a year. That smoke detectors are probably the most important thing we see on a daily basis, is a smoke detector going off when a pot of food smoldering on the stove, and you realize the smoke detector goes off and you take care of it. And if you didn't have that smoke detector, who knows how big that fire could get before you realize it.
What should kids do if they see a fire? They're like, the fire is here.
The first thing to do is get out. Obviously, if it's in a house, you want to get outside, yell for your parents. You don't want to try to go back inside a house or anything like that. You don't want to try to put it out yourself. You want to leave that to the professionals to do that for you. Make sure you know how to call 911. That's another thing. It doesn't have to be a fire either. It could be any little emergency. It could be a medical emergency. You could need the police department for something. But make sure you know how to dial 911. At the very least, your address and your name. If you can call 911 and give them your address, someone's going to show up. And then we can figure out more specifically who needs to after that. But as long as you know your address, that's the most important thing.
Got it. So it sounds like kids should call 911, have a plan set up with their family if there's a fire, and come up with a way to get out of the house. What happens if, say, a kid is in a room and there's a fire outside, but they're by themselves? What should they do?
If you can't get out of your room, if you're in your room and you happen to find there's a fire somewhere in the house, you want to make sure you keep your door closed. And that's another thing actually we're seeing a lot now, and we're encouraging people to do, is sleep with their doors closed in their bedrooms. There's a lot of research and a lot of things we're seeing now that maybe we always knew, but we just didn't realize it, that you can have a very large fire in a house. Just having that bedroom door closed can prevent that fire from getting in that room. You take a picture of a bedroom after a fire, and that bedroom looks like there isn't even any smoke in it, practically. Everything looks completely fine. And just on the other side of that door, everything is burned away. So that's the most important thing. Sleep with your doors closed. Make sure you leave it closed. If you have a window, you could go out that window if it's not too high or anything like that. If not, keep your door closed and wait for the fire department to get you. But obviously, stop, drop, and roll.
Stop, drop, and roll. And if there's smoke, put a wet rag over your face.
You could do that. Definitely stop, drop, and roll though. It still works. If somehow you catch on fire, you got to know how to do it.